We want to go to our CBS News correspondent, Jonathan Vigliotti, who has been following this story all night. Jonathan, what's the latest?
Yeah, Manchester Police releasing really just about 30 minutes ago in a tweet this information that we just want to read straight from here. So far, 19 people have been confirmed dead with around 50 others injured. We also know at this hour that police have carried out at least one controlled explosion. We are expecting a press conference from them in a short time from now. At this point, it remains unclear, Elaine, if those casualties are the result of explosions or of the chaos that followed. But police say they are treating this as a possible terrorist incident until they know otherwise and can rule terrorism out. At least two loud bangs we've been reporting went off inside that arena just before 11 p.m. local time. Reports say the Ariana Grande concert that was going on inside had actually just finished when observers said they heard those explosions. British media reporting that it happened inside the arena near the ticket office. That has not been confirmed, though, by police at this hour. This is one of the largest arenas, the Manchester Arena, in Europe, with seating capacity of over 20,000 people. At this point, unclear how many were inside. Video posted on social media, though, put the scale of what unfolded into perspective. People, thousands of them, running to escape from the arena. A lot of commotion, what has been described by some people as a stampede. Police told people on social media and continue to tell them to stay away from the area. Police cars, ambulances, riot vans are all outside. Again, that controlled explosion did take place a short while ago. The complex's train station remains shut down. One person posted video on Twitter, and you could see people running with blood on their clothing. Again, very few details confirmed by police at this hour, but worth repeating, they are confirming 19 people confirmed dead, around 50 others injured. As this investigation continues, still unclear if this was a terrorist attack, though Manchester Police saying they are treating this as a terrorist incident until police know otherwise. Elaine.
Jonathan, what's happening with those concert goers who were not injured, who are trying to exit the area with this massive police presence?
Yeah, you can imagine the chaos that unfolded as these explosions went off. I was listening to one person on local radio here describing running outside. He was one of the few that got out from that area that he was in and found his mother waiting for him, got into her car and was whisked away to safety, though there are hundreds, if not thousands more people who didn't have such a quick reunion. There's a local hotel in the area, we are told, that is now a staging area for parents to go to meet up with their children. Again, police, though, telling everyone else in this area to stay out of that immediate area. You can imagine the immediate area around Manchester Arena has been cordoned off as this investigation continues and as first responders continue to carry out their work at this scene.
And Jonathan, what do we know about any kind of threats to this event? Was there anything suspicious reported, or authorities talking about that at all?
No, at this point, we haven't heard anything directly from police confirming what could have been behind these two loud explosions that have been described and confirmed by police. We don't know if it was an explosive or if it was a malfunction of equipment. Of course, police at this point, as we've been repeating, are not ruling out the possibility of a terrorist attack unfolding within this arena. But at this point, too soon to say. There have been unconfirmed reports, as we've been hearing on the air, about possible nail bombs. But at this point, and it's really important and worth repeating, Manchester Police have not commented on that. You can imagine the chaos that unfolded and just how difficult it makes this investigation, how complicated it is, and how long it will take before we know more. We are expected again to hear from Manchester Police within the next hour or so in a press conference.
That was going to be my next question. You mentioned that news conference. Is it just going to be the Greater Manchester Police? Are other authorities expected there as well?
From what we understand, Manchester Police, I wouldn't be surprised if there were other authorities there talking about what unfolded, medics, anybody putting into perspective and scale the amount of injuries. The update that we got was about 30 or 35 minutes ago, that number of 19 people confirmed dead and around 50 others injured. But it is likely that that could rise, and it's possible that we will be learning that from Manchester Police when they do speak.
Jonathan, I'm just wondering, what was the sort of security posture like there of authorities in the months leading up to this? Of course, it was just earlier this year that we all saw that horrific attack on the Westminster Bridge. Tell us about what the security posture of police was like.
Yeah, that attack was back in March. There's been a heightened state of alert throughout Europe and, of course, here in the UK, really following the Paris attacks that took place just about 2 years ago. You can imagine security on the streets throughout the UK, throughout all of the major cities in Europe, a heightened sense of alert. Wherever you go, you see police, and especially around an event like this one where thousands of people are going to a concert. Concerts have come under attack before. The concert at the Bataclan Theater, if you recall, during the Paris attacks, one such case. You can imagine the security very much heightened. We can compare it almost to airport security. When you go through, you have your bags checked and you go through those metal detectors. So security was very much heightened. If any kind of bomb did make its way through, that will obviously be one of the many questions as this investigation continues. But security heightened, police and that heavy presence very much around leading up to and really during this incident. At this point, again, police saying a possible terrorist attack. They are treating it as such until they can rule it out.
And Jonathan, how is it that authorities are suggesting people who may be concerned about loved ones proceed if they can't get in touch with them at the moment?
Yeah, well, the main way that they have really put out this alert was at this local hotel in the area. Of course, it doesn't really help families that are abroad whose children or loved ones were here visiting and decided to go to Manchester and go to the arena and see this Ariana Grande concert. Social media playing a critical role. We've seen that time and time again. Authorities really alerting families to go online. People who are in the area of possible attacks to go online and say they're okay. Social media playing a critical role in all of this as loved ones try to reconnect with anyone that may have been in this arena at the time.
Jonathan, what do we know about the Manchester Arena? We know it's quite a large venue. Is there typically security in the way of metal detectors? Do we know that information when it comes to events like this?
I mean, this is a massive arena, so it's capable of holding over 20,000 people. It's one of the largest arenas in Europe. We don't know how many people were inside at the time of this incident, of these possible explosions. I wanted to say attack, but again, we can't confirm that from Manchester Police. We don't know how many people were inside. We do know, answering your question about security, again, there were those metal detectors set up around, and there are checkpoints where people going in, obviously handing in their tickets to get inside, would have had to pass through and likely have their bags checked. So security heightened, and security at this event, given just the nature of how many people and how large scale it was, would have been heightened. And you can imagine people having to go through this security. How any kind of possible weapon, if this does in fact turn out to be confirmed as a bomb, how that could have made its way through, whether it made its way through or was actually outside, kind of in the entranceway, remains unclear as this investigation continues, Elaine.
All right. Jonathan Vigliotti in our London bureau for us. Jonathan, thanks so much.